Okay, good morning. CQ, the Old Friends Net. This is N4LQ, November 4, Lima, Quebec. Steve in Shelby, North Carolina, calling CQ. The Old Friends Net is an amplitude modulation net. We operate here on 3715 every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. and on Sundays at 4 p.m. And this is a roundtable net, and we will now take check-ins. This is N4LQ listening.
Good morning, Steve, WA4LL.
K4GDN. WB4ARK.
WB4NKL. K3OS.
November 4, Oscar Zulu, India.
K4 Bravo.
K4JAL.
W4MEC.
Okay, here's what I got so far. WA4LLR, LLR, K4GDN, WB4ARK, WB4NKL, K3OS, N4OZI, KZ4B, or KZ4B, K4JAL, and W4MEC. Are there any more check-ins?
WA4EVK.
All right, Boone, WA4EVK. Anybody else? Down the list real quick here. WA4LLR, K4GDN, WB4ARK, WB4NKL, K3OS, N4OZI, KZ4B, K4JAL, W4MEC, and WA4EVK. Are there any more check-ins to the Old Friends Net? All right, well, I hope everybody's been having a good time on the radio, and I sure have been operating a lot of nice CW. Every single band the other day I hit and made a QSO. That's something everybody should try someday. And some of the obscure bands like 60 Meters, lots of fun. Let's see, I'm running the SDR this morning. Got it on live stream, so it makes things a little bit easier sometimes. And I got up late. I don't know why, but I've been sleeping really good ever since I bought that new mattress. Boy, I love that thing. So let's go ahead around for our first round. Dave, WA4LLR to take it, N4LQ.
Okay, Steve, fine business. N4LQ. And the Old Friends, WA4LR. Well, good morning and Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you're all having the beginnings of a great holiday. And I hope we all remember the real reason for the season and truly celebrate and be thankful for the greatest gift ever given. 27 degrees, partly cloudy. No wind, beautiful morning here in the eastern jungles of Yancey County. Running the ART-13 today and listening on the 390A. Got ham clock running over here, and looking, somebody's got Santa Claus and his reindeer crossing above Australia. That's cute, whoever put that on there. Yesterday was kind of hectic. We had to go and try to get a lady's gas stove going, and get her toasty and warm, and then we had to run, do a few errands and last-minute shopping, and man alive. Yesterday evening about 6 o'clock, Walmart was insane. Went to Tractor Supply first. It was bad enough, but Walmart was just inconceivable. But hopefully we got everything done. Got home a little after 7 last night, and my wife has promised me that we don't have to go out anywhere today. I think our Christmas plans are all the family meets at 2 o'clock tomorrow at my daughter's house for what she calls lupper, late lunch and early supper. So hopefully today will be kind of restful, and maybe just hang around and tinker on the radio. And Steve, fine business on a QSO on all bands. That's neat. George, if you're hearing me, down to you. K4GDN, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, the group's K4GDN. Yeah, I'm hearing everybody really well. The band's in great shape this morning, quiet and getting out good. It's in the low 40s here. It's about 40 in the shack. I've got the electric heater running as well as it can. I'm on the Viking 2, receiving on the HR05A1, and the regenerator Fritz 12 is in the background somewhere when I remember to turn the RF gain down when I'm transmitting. And gonna have to go out today. I gotta get some collards. It's very hard to find collards down here. Nobody down here is from the south anymore. Anyway, it sounds like it's gonna be a good net here today, and look forward to being on radio a little bit. Got a lot going on. We got to go to got a lot of families going on down here during the holidays. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to you. WB4ARK in the group, K4GDN.
K4GDN, WB4ARK. Okay, well, very good copy on everybody's signal this morning. A few little static crashes there. I don't know where that's coming from. But we got a clear sky, 23 degrees this morning. And looking for a pretty cold day today. It was pretty cold yesterday. Just barely got above freezing almost. I think it got up to 40. So anyhow, I got most of our shopping done. We got a little bit more to do today. And so wife and I will be going out shortly to a couple of places, and then returning and doing some cooking. So we will have a busy day today. And let's see what else. Well, I was lucky to get the ART-13 on for the first call in this morning. I forgot about the net starting, and rushed in here with Steve giving the monologue there, and I didn't think it was going to come up in time, but it did. I think it's because of my higher filament voltage, up around close to 28 volts, and I think that got it warmed up pretty quick. So with that, let's see, we will turn it over to WB4NKL. I wonder if you have any snow up there, Cliff. This is WB4ARK.
And WB4ARK, WB4NKL. No snow here. I can see it on the mountaintops over here, still a little bit hanging around, but we were actually warmer than you were yesterday, buddy. It got close to 50, and I think it's supposed to do that again today. It's 25 right now. It's dropped a degree. It was 26 when I got up, but I think it's supposed to get have some sunshine and get back up close to the upper 40s anyway. Everybody's booming in here today. Good signals. George is coming in good from Myrtle Beach. And I'm on the ART-13. That's 3 so far. I guess Jimmy's on his. Probably be a 4th one, maybe some more. So got that covered here pretty good today. Yeah, we were out yesterday and took Linda out to lunch. It was her birthday, and we were in a shopping center close to the Walmart in Johnson City, and it was just covered up. I thought they must be giving stuff away. I never seen so many cars, and they were circling. The parking lot was full, and they were circling looking for parking spaces. So that's pretty unusual. Send it on around. Go ahead, Gary. K3OS WB4NKL.
Okay, Cliff. Morning. WB4NKL and the group from K3OS. In Hickory. Beautiful day here. Quite cold in the 20s. I had my HVAC guys out yesterday to see we couldn't figure out what's wrong with the heat pump and stuff. So they made some adjustments. And things are a whole lot better, although we did find one of the auxiliary heat strips was bad. So fortunately, that's going to be replaced under warranty. But that wasn't the issue here. Some adjustments were necessary. The house would not get up to temperature. It took like 4 or 5 hours yesterday morning. But this morning seemed to be coming up. Life is good. Christmas Eve day. I have one musical good tonight early on, and then we're through for the season, and get a chance to wish all you guys a very Merry Christmas. All right, down to Alan, N4OZI, K3OS.
All right, Gary, K3OS in the net. This N4OZI, Alan over here in Woodstock, Georgia, where I don't know what the temperature is. All I know is it's cold. Got the propane heater going here in the basement. Things are going good. The daughter got in last night right on time, flew in from Bloomington, Indiana. Flight landed right at about 6:30. Got on, was able to get on the MARTA train at 7, and it pulled into North Springs in Roswell at 8 o'clock, right where we were at. Got her and came on home, so that worked out beautifully. So no delays. She said the plane was crowded, but that's the way it is during Christmas. That's normal, but worked out real well. And not much else going on. I'm surprised at you, Dave, for going into Walmart on the 23rd of December. That's just asking for trouble. But we try to stay away from places like that on Black Friday, and as it gets closer to Christmas, you try to stay away. Anyway. Not much else going on, so I'll continue it on to John, KZ4 Bravo to take it, N4OZI.
Okay, N4OZI and the group KZ4B, fine business, Alan. Conditions are really great today. Unfortunately, Alan, you're probably the weakest I've heard so far, but you're in there. But conditions are really, really good today. Nice and cold. So we do have our wintertime conditions. The wife's sister, who lives in Austin, Texas, is coming in today. So she'll be here, and she will be joined with her son, who lives in Cornelius, which is just a town just down the road. So that'll be the family that we have for Christmas. And our grandkids who are in Myrtle Beach the grandkids are being looked after by their aunt, who just moved in from I guess it's Arizona, and so we will not be seeing them because their parents are on another cruise. So That's going to be interesting. Will the aunt survive the grandkids, or will the grandkids survive the aunt? We are observing that situation. So anyway, we're staying warm here. It's nice and clear and cold as the devil, but trying to stay warm. We're still going through, just about finished all of our electric radios, and need to put them back on the shelf, and we're not doing anything out in the garage because it's way too cold. Cost me a fortune to heat it. So Jimmy, take it away. K4JAL in the group, KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, K4JAL. Well, stay warm, John. Everybody's sounding good. Conditions are great. Gary, that's the best signal I think I've ever heard out of you. Wonder what you're running. You may have said, we went to the Texas Roadhouse last night in Asheville and had our Christmas doings with my sister-in-law, and it was quiet. I ruined my meal because I forgot them not to tell them to not marinate my steak. I hate to take good beef and put all kinds of garbage on it, so I had to live with my decision. That's just the way that goes. Yeah, Cliff, I guess I'm ART-13 number 4, enjoying the heck out of it. And I'll give it over to Charlie, W4MEC, K4JAL.
Thanks, Jimmy, K4JAL in the group, W4MEC. Good morning, everybody, and happy Christmas Eve. It's 23 degrees up here this morning, and it's a little, got some white fluffy things out there, blue between them, but I'm not going to call it a clear day by any means. Let's see, Christmas shopping, well, we don't do a whole lot anymore, but I think we're done handing out Christmas cookies and stuff like that, and got the garbage man caught up and the mailman caught up, and the neighbors caught up, so I think we're ready to go here. Not a real big day planned for tomorrow, just a kind of normal one. I think we do have a meal at my daughter and son-in-law's, my son and daughter-in-law's house with the Grants. She always does a special meal at Christmas, so that ought to be good. Let's see what else we got here. My granddaughter did the version of the Nutcracker. We went to see that, the Saturday show, and she did good in that. So as a sugar plum fairy, so she's only 6, so they don't give her starring roles, but it was a good production. But they didn't have the dancing Cossacks, so I was hoping to see the dancing Cossacks, but they didn't have enough men. They could have maybe 2 going around a circle. That wouldn't be very good. But anyway, let's see, electronic-wise, not a whole lot happening. Got a whole bunch of things on the bench for folks, but it's been so cotton-picking cold in my shop out there, I don't want to go out there. And that's where the ART-13 is and all my other heavyweight stuff, so I'd have to bundle up with a scarf and heavy gloves and all that. And I do have a heater, but it's a little electric heater. It puts out 4,000 watts, but basically what it does is make my watt meter spin a heck of a lot more faster and does not heat up the room. So I'm convinced anybody that thinks you can heat something with, without a flame or without gas or natural gas, propane or heating oil is nuts. So, so anyway, I got to do something out there, but maybe it'll warm up. WA4EVK, W4MEC.
W4MEC in the group, WA4EVK. Charlie, I kind of agree, man. I'm going to try to figure out some way to get the gas heater in my shop because I go out and turn the heat on right now. I'll be able to get in it I'm yet to get in there, not be comfortable in about 3-4 hours. I did get the Clegg Thor on the bench yesterday evening, though, Charlie, and we're going to beat away at it today and see if I can clear up the audio problems in it and go from there. 25 degrees here in Pickett. 9.5, 68 into Swan Mark 1 using a SDR receiver so I can pick some of you guys out of boys. George is the weakest, but he's got a good signal this morning, and everything is moving right along. And with that, I'm going to send it back up to Steve. N4LQ second, WA4EVK.
Okay, this is N4LQ and the Old Friends Net. Do we have any more check-ins? Call now. Okay, well, Boone, you're kind of weak here. I just barely could hear you. I don't know if your modulation's up to snuff or your signal level was down pretty low here. But I did hear you say you were making progress on the Thor transmitter. And Charlie, fine on going to see Dancing Cossacks. I don't know about those guys. That's kind of hard to imagine somebody squatted down and dancing. And you don't believe in electric heaters. Well, I've got one here, and it's got me nice and warm, so I believe in them. It works in my shack. Now, I wouldn't want to depend on it for the house, but it's a little small. I mean, how many times have we seen advertising for electric heaters that are just fantastic? They can heat a whole room in a matter of seconds, and they put out more heat than any other electric heater. And the fact is, I forget the number of BTUs, but it seems to me like it was I don't know, 1,200 or something like that. For you can only draw so much current before you blow a fuse on a 110 electric heater, and I think 1,500 watts is about max, and you can convert that to BTUs, and no matter how you twist it around, you can't get any more heat out of them than that. And let's see here, Jimmy, I don't like marinated steaks either. That's why I don't like Outback. The steaks are just really strongly flavored, and it's hard to find a place that doesn't marinate them. But I found one the other day in Cherryville, and it was the best steak I ever had at the small town kitchen in Cherryville. But it's not cheap. Let's see. Everybody's got relatives coming and going, and we don't have anything happening here at all. That was Thanksgiving, and the kids all come here, and the sister and all that. But Christmas, they go out to the in-laws and the outlaws. Let's see here. We got some comments about, Alan, N4OZI. I think you're clipping a little bit. Maybe just clipping just a little bit. I don't know if you're driving the amp too hard or something just doesn't sound right, but you might want to look at that. Otherwise, sounding good. And Gary, glad you got your HVAC fixed, and you do sound good. You do sound louder than normal. Anything else here outstanding? And Dave, glad you got your all the stoves in the Yancey County fixed. Everybody's staying warm, and I'm sure it's a blessing for a lot of people. Don't go to Walmart. Walmart comes to me when I need something. I go online, place the order, and it shows up usually that same day or the next day, depending on when it's scheduled. And for $5, I can have them deliver it within about an hour. Extra if I'm in a big hurry. And that, I would pay the $5 rather than go in there and fight that crowd and all that mess. So, it's 23 degrees here, and I don't want to go outside. It's too cold. So, back around for another round. WA4LLR, N4LQ.
All right. N4LQ. And the old friends, WA4LLR. Great round, good copy on everybody. All the ART-13s are sounding good. Boone, the AF-68 sounds good up here. You sound about normal, but I don't know. I'm assuming Charlie's on the TX-1. It always does a good job. And George, your Viking 2's doing well. So everybody's doing fine. And Alan, I'm not crazy. I sent my wife to Walmart. I ain't going in there. Oh, me, Gary, it is nice to have heat. A warm shack is a wonderful thing. Alan, good deal on the daughter coming in, or came in. And John, you said the wife's sister and her son's going to be with you, and the aunt's keeping the grandkids while the family is cruising. Oh boy. And I'm assuming you're on the T-150. It sounds good. Jimmy, you told me the Roadhouse was quiet. Now, I don't know, man. You sure that your hearing aid's working good? I have never found the Roadhouse quiet, but maybe you had a good night. I'm sorry about your steak. The best steak I ever had in my life was in Buenos Aires, Argentina. And it was cooked over a bed of coals for, it seemed like for hours. And the only marinade, the fellow would sprinkle salt water on it occasionally. And I've never had anything like that in my life. That was some of the best meat that I've ever been privileged to eat. You could cut it with a fork, it would melt in your mouth, and it had the best flavor I've ever seen. Let's see here. Charlie's talking about going to the son's house tomorrow. That sounds good. And, yeah, I'm a big fan of a propane heater. I got one sitting over here cruising away, and it's nice and toasty here in the shack. Boone, I hope you get the Clegg Thor going. Well, let's see. Solar activity has picked up. We had almost an X-class flare yesterday. It was a M8.9. And since those new sunspots have rotated around the limb of the sun, the sunspot count's 199. Solar flux index is 238, and the K is 1, so the upper bands ought to be doing pretty good. A few things from this day in history. On this day in 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. On this day in 1948, a family moved into the world's first fully solar house. On this day in 1814, a treaty was signed to end the War of 1812. On this day in 1851, fire ravaged the Library of Congress. On this day in 1972, Bob Hope gave his last show in Vietnam. On this day in 1923, Calvin Coolidge lit the first national Christmas tree. And on this day in 1801, Richard Trevithick introduced the puffing devil. And the puffing devil was the first steam-powered passenger vehicle. And he took 7 of his friends for a ride. I don't know if you've seen that, but I saw a video of that thing being fired up and running, or a replica of it, and it was a pretty wild contraption. Anyway, that's about it for this transmission, so we'll send it back down to George. K4GDN, WA4LLR.
WA4LLR, the group is K4GDN. Copying everybody well. And that's some interesting information you had there, Dave. And as far as the steak's concerned, when I was in the Navy, and this was in the very early 70s, I managed to get into Kobe, Japan, and had a Kobe steak at one of the more well-known hotel restaurants. That's where most of the big restaurants were at that time. I think in most of the Japanese cities. I know that was the case in Kobe, and in Beppu was also there. And it was a very good steak. But that's been, I guess, over 50 years ago. And on the electric heaters, that's what I've got going here in the shack. It was about 40 in the shack when I got in, and the electric heater's sitting over there about 6 feet away. And you're right, all you can get out of one of them things is about 1,000 watts, maybe 1,500. I think mine's around 1,000. It's not marked, but I can't believe people advertise them the way they do. But in that case, it works well, and I don't have the power available to me here really to run a very big heater. I've only got about 30 amp service, 220 coming in to the shack, and it's shared with another building. Of course, there's nothing on in the other building when I'm in here. But anyway, be that as may, the electric heater does the job. I've got an insulated shirt on, but I do have on just a pair of shorts. I generally don't wear long pants down here unless I'm going to be working out in the yard, keep my legs from getting all cut up from the rose bushes. And everybody's coming here. Well, the band is in very good shape this morning, and it's amazing. The little regenerative receiver, Charlie, you're familiar with the Fritz one. It does a really good job, but you got to keep it close by and keep your finger on that RF gain control. But it does work quite well. It's amazing how well some of these old things work. And this Viking 2 that I'm running, it seems to be doing a good job. This was Fritz's Viking 2, so it's been around quite a while also. Anyhow, with that, let's see. It goes to Buddy, WB4ARK in the group, K4GDN.
K4GDN, WB4ARK. Okay, George. Very good copy on all signals. Boone, you were coming in here into Lake Wiley with a pretty normal signal. It might have been a little bit light, but not too bad. And gosh, I wonder, Steve, if using almost all the bands, or at least all the bands for a QSO, that was pretty good yesterday. I guess you were on CW the whole time. You didn't say, but you did say you were working CW. And Charlie, I don't know, with that huge tank of propane that you have, I would think you would have a propane heater out there in that outside shop. That kind of curtails your work out there during the winter time, especially up in the high country where you are. It gets pretty chilly up there, and it stays that way for a while. I don't think we'll hear that ART-13 again. That thing's a thing of the past now. It's been on once or twice, so that's about it. So maybe a donation to one of the flying clubs. Yeah, of course they didn't use those in the B-17s, but anyhow, there's probably something up there they probably used it in. Gary, I wonder if your strip heating was causing your lack of heat. Of course, once it gets down to in the 20s, you need extra heat, extra electrical heat to supplement the heat pump. And I wonder, but you said they haven't replaced it yet, so whatever they did, I guess, perked your unit up. Let's see. Yeah, it's really nice to be inside where it's warm for your Radio Shack. I don't know what I would do outside. It's pretty chilly out there, and I know without external heat or internal heat, you're gonna suffer. So with that, over to WB4NKL, WB4ARK.
Yeah, WB4ARK, it's WB4NKL. It's a little cool out in my shack today. I usually I can heat it, but I just don't want to pay for it. So I usually turn the heat down into as low as the thermostat will go and leave it there. So come out this morning and it's sitting on about 50 out here, and I cranked it up a little bit and it's up to 53 looks like. So I'm gonna make this my last one. Go warm my feet back up. But I think temperature is supposed to be getting a little better, so should be able to spend a little more time out here. I hope to get back on 160, Steve. It's been a while, and we've been having company and cold nights, so that's the reason I hadn't been on. It's going to be a quiet day here today. Daughter's working, and so we're going to celebrate, or having a meal there tomorrow for supper, I guess, is our Christmas meal, which Linda's working on today. So I'm going to go in and warm my feet up, and enjoyed it this morning. Signals are really great. Everybody's coming in good copy on George today. So with that, send it on to Gary, K3OS, WB4NKL.
You still there, Gary? K3OS, you there? Well, I don't hear him. Alan, go ahead.
Okay, then. Maybe he had to step away. Send for OZI. That cut it back a little bit, and maybe it's not clipping as much. How's that sound, Steve? Is that a little bit better?
Oh, that's fine. It's not clipping at all.
Yeah, QSL. Thanks. Appreciate the heads up. Anyway, 7-3 to you, Cliff. Catch you a little bit later. And yeah, we run a propane heater. Well, we have some electric oil heaters down here that kind of keep the basement somewhat warm in the evenings when it gets down into the 20s. They do a fairly good job. And then when I come down here in the morning, I fire up this propane heater to kind of help out a little bit more, and it works out real well. In fact, I got an extra propane heater in from Amazon yesterday. So, because I got to thinking, anything happens to this propane heater, it's not going to be good. So I went ahead and got a backup propane heater. I have extra tanks, and now I got an extra heater, so we should be set. But it usually doesn't cost too much to this basement keeps relatively stable temperatures all year long. Just in the winter, you do need a slight little bit of heat on days like today, and then in the summer, probably be a good idea to kick on that fan. But for the most part, it does real well. The main thing, though, is it stays dry. And that's really important, as long as the basement's dry. But yeah, we are going to stick around here. We're going to go to Connor's Steakhouse tonight at 5, and we thought we would, rather than spending time cooking a meal for Christmas Eve, we'd spend more time with our daughter and have them cook the meal. And Connor's is real nice steakhouse here. They're a bit expensive, but they are totally worth it. So they do serve some excellent steaks. And we'll go over there and at 5 and have our meal. But we'll be back here. I got a couple things I got to do outside, so it won't be too bad today. Get out, I got to move some stuff that's in the property, and I need to cut back some of this forest during the winter. So I should probably start thinking about that before it gets bitterly cold. But it's not too bad. And I also need to go up and check on that 160 antenna. Keep it going. Sounding real good. Everybody's booming in. Great band today. Over to you, John. KZ4 Bravo to take it. N4OZI.
Okay, N4OZI and the group KZ4B. Fine business, Alan. You're coming in better that time, but you and Boone are probably the weakest of the group. Steve is booming in here, the strongest probably, and Buddy wanted to second what Dave said about steak or beef. Argentina has the best beef in the world. I've really enjoyed it when I was down there. Just fantastic beef. And domestically, I used to enjoy the Outback, but I think it has somewhat degraded. Longhorn wins the prize now, in my eyes, and for the best beef. Outback has slid quite a bit. Wanted to comment on electric heaters. And I second what Steve and George have said. You see these fantastic ads about electric heaters like they can do something more than anybody else's electric heater. Well, when it comes to electric heaters, a watt in electrically is a watt out in heat. There is no magic. And I just picked up just a week or so ago 2 ceramic heaters from Northern Hydraulics, and they're really neat. The neat thing is that they have a 750 watt setting, whereas a lot of them are just stuck on 1500 watts. Which is the most you can legally get out of a 110 volt outlet, which is about 12 amps. They say it's a 15 amp outlet, but for continuous duty use you can only draw 12 amps, and to make the code happy. And of course with a 20 amp outlet you can get a little more, but a watt in is a watt out heat-wise. But I'm enjoying the 750 watt setting, and that really does the trick. It's blowing on my legs as we speak. Let's see, there was one other, I was going to say that I am really enjoying staying warm. I cannot stand cold weather. I spent too much time in Canada in the winter, and also in Russia. That's the coldest place there ever was. And I really feel sorry for these Ukrainians where the Russians have bombed out their power grid. And what people don't realize is that it takes forever to rebuild a transformer, a power transformer. And I just, the misery that they must be putting up with has got to be incalculable. So, enough said there. So, Jimmy, you're sounding great. That ART-13 just sounds great. And thank you, buddy, for making that happen. Very kind of you. So, Jimmy, take it away. K4JAL in the group, KZ4B, over.
KZ4B, K4JAL. Well, thanks for the compliment on the ART-13, and I appreciate you contributing the RF meter to this rig. Anyway, you must be like Sam McGee from Tennessee. You know, he wanted to be cremated because he was cold in Alaska. I wonder about Mr. Glenn. I haven't heard of him in a while, and it's Christmas time, and has anybody heard from Glenn? And Boone, your signal sounded fine to me. Of course, we're in different geographies than some of these other people, and I'm sure that accounts for it. I grieve over Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Asheville, and I think they're franchised all over, but for many years we would go there on Christmas Eve and have their biggest steak, and it was wonderful. But the last 2 times I went, I had poor service and tough steak, so I'll never go back, but I grieve for them. Over to you, Charlie, W4MEC, K4JAL.
Hey, Jimmy, K4JAL and the group, W4MEC. Well, I do have propane heaters. I've got a tank top, and I've got one of those big ones that looks like a jet engine that will heat up a house under construction. And I've got a kerosene heater. Right now, I've got the mirror problem. I don't have 6 square feet of open space to put it without catching something on fire. So that's what normally I'll run my kerosene heater in there. It does the best of any of them, but I need to do some rearranging. I just got too much junk and no space to safely put it. So it's got to have like 3 foot around just to be safe. I've been a little closer before, but I like to have at least 2 foot around it, which requires 5 foot circle, and it does not exist. So steaks. Well, I'll tell you what, I have never ever liked Outback steaks. I don't know what that stuff is they put on it. And if I ever have to go there, I always tell them don't put any seasoning on it. But I don't know what it is, but and it's not much of a value either. We got a good place here in town called Binion's. I don't know if their steak is stellar or anything, but it is always packed, and I mean always packed. Starting at about 11 o'clock in the morning, its parking lot is full, and it stays full to 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. And if you're lucky, you can sneak in there about 3 in the afternoon where things lighten up, and you can get in and sit down almost immediately. But we have gone there and left when they've told us there's an hour and a half wait. So, but it's really the only good, apparently it's the only real good steakhouse around here. We had one up in Fletcher called the Royal Steakhouse, and they did all their steak cooking on a skillet, and actually it was pretty darn good. But it went out of business many years ago, and they tore the place down and built something else there. But it was an old diner type setup, with booths along the window and along the countertop there with stools, and it was a good and amazingly affordable meal. The Royal Steakhouse was. But anyway, let's see. That's about it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do. I think I'll be able to do 6 meters tonight if we remember Boone. I'll try and be out there and give you a call if you'll be around, and If not, that's okay. I know we have more misses than we do hits when it comes to 6-meter net on 50.4. And regards to Glenn, he checked in on the 15th. Was the last time he showed up, which was 1, 2. Let's see, did I miss one? No, that was it was on the 15th of December. He checked in, and he seemed pretty chipper. So I think it's the 8 o'clock morning might be in the morning might be the issue, or maybe the temperature in his basement down there. I don't know. WA4EVK, W4MEC.
W4MEC in the group, WA4EVK. Well, that should be a little better. I run about 260 watt carrier. I cranked the modulation up a little bit there, Steve. I do know this antenna is weak up that way. I haven't done a whisper map or any of that on it. Just judging by the coverage, it is slanted down to the east, so I've got to get it up in a tree on that end higher, and it should work a little better. I haven't finished my antenna work. And Charlie, I am going to try to be in here for 6 years. I'm not going to say I'm going to have the Thor ready, but I do have it on the bench working on it. The only problem right now being the cold, thinking cold. Seems like everything else goes on. And with that, I'm going to send it back up to Steve. N4LQ to take it, WA4EVK.
All right, Boone, do we have any super late stations?
KG4IUQ.
Okay, Mark, go ahead and make a quick one there and turn it back to me.
Thank you very much, Steve. I learned something yesterday. I was seeing that my meter was showing not much power output coming out of my amplifier. I took the tubes out like I told you yesterday I was going to do, and I even broke off the little top off of 2 of them and then put in the new tubes, and then I was doing the same thing after that, and I learned that the meter case off and there was a battery in there, so I replaced the battery and now it was showing the good power output. So I learned something yesterday. Thought it was going to start here today at 9, but I guess it started at 8, and it's good to be here briefly. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm going to turn it over to Steve. This is KG4IUQ. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, Mark, anybody else? Okay, KG4IUQ, we're glad you got your meter figured out there and got back on the air. And yeah, Boone, your signal was a little bit better that time, I would say, but still not. Are you using the 160 antenna? Over?
Roger, Steve. That's part of the problem. It's 160 antenna, and it's floating right now. Over.
All right, that's the reason then. That's why you're so weak on that 160 antenna. Got the big null overhead. Let's see. Have any quick comments here on now? An interesting twist on electric heaters is the infrared type. They've been around forever, but if you sit right under an electric infrared heater, they'll warm you up real quick, and they're very focused and so forth, and it's kind of an exception to the rule as long as it's shining on you. Now, there's a bunch of them that put infrared bulbs in a box and call it an infrared heater. They put it in a wooden box, the first one I saw, and they cost a fortune, like $300, and people just swear by them, and they don't put out actually they put out less heat than your average electric heater because the infrared light energy cannot escape those things. And Argentina's steak is good, and they finally got a good president down there, too, I understand. And let's see, working all bands, I am attempting to get on 630 here. I'm going to try to get my whisper transmitter out here tonight and let it run and see who can hear me and get the antenna tuned up for 630. And that'll be one more band, and then there's one more to go down there at, what is that, 2,200, 2,300 meters. Oh boy, that's going to be fun. We'll try that next, I guess. Anyhow, that is about it for the day, and we're about out of time, so let's make a quick 73 round with little short 73s, and that'll be it for the net. So, Dave, over to you, WA4LLR, N4LQ.
Okay, N4LQ, WA4LLR. A couple of quick things. On heat, regardless how you slice it, rule of thumb is 20 BTUs per square foot. So whether it's electric or whether it's propane or whatever, that's what you need to have decent heat, 20 BTUs per square foot. John, I agree with you. Longhorn Steakhouse, good beef, and Russia's not only cold, but it's hot in the summer. One last thing, most of you know that Norm is in the hospital with a brain tumor, and he's really been having a rough go of it, delirious and so on and so forth. But I got a text from Rita, his wife, this morning that said he's progressing with baby steps, had a more restful night, can hold a conversation with still some confusion. But I appreciate all the prayers, so if you would, please keep Norm in your prayers. Merry Christmas to everybody. 7-3, God bless, and Lord willing, we'll look for you on Thursday. K4GDN, WA4LR.
WA4LR, K4GDN. And just a quick comment about the steaks. When I was at Clemson in the mid to late 60s, there was a little restaurant up in Walhalla, if you know where that is, called the Walhalla Steakhouse. And it was run by an Arab family, of all things, and that was very unusual, certainly back in the 60s, and especially in a town like Walhalla. And they had a really good steak for a really reasonable price. If you could find somebody with a car and going up that way, that was really a good treat when we were at Clemson. So, Steve, thanks for calling the net, and look forward to having a good Christmas, and I hope everybody has a very good Christmas, and remember the reason. So with that, I'm going to say 73, God bless. Looking forward to see you later on down the line. Let's see. It goes to Buddy, WB4ARK in the group K4GDN.
K4GDN, WB4ARK. Okay, George. Well, all the signals seem to be holding strong, and I hope everybody has a great Christmas, and we'll see. This is the 24th, on the 24th of the year. So nobody mentioned that, but it's kind of odd that things come around like this every so often. Anyway, everybody have a great Christmas, and we'll see everyone hopefully on Thursday. So with that, over to, Cliff is signed out. K3OS is signed out. I guess it goes to Alan. N4OZI, WV4ARK.
Okay, buddy, WB4ARK. Well, 73 to you, 73 to everybody. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, and we'll catch you guys later. Certainly appreciate you calling the net this morning, Steve. And we'll send it on over to Don, KZ4Bravo, N4OZI.
Okay, N4OZI and the group KZ4B. Fine business there, Alan. We will be praying for Norm, and hope he can pull things out. And thank you for calling the net, Steve. You are just booming in here. I should sue you for damaging my receiver, but I don't believe in lawsuits, if at all possible. So enjoyed it today. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year if I don't catch you between now and then. And stay warm. It's tough these days, to say the least. So, Jimmy, if you're there, take it away. K4JAL and the group KZ4, be clear about listening.
KZ4B, K4JAL. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you have a joyous season. K4JAL send 73 over to W4MEC.
Very good, Jimmy. K4JL in the group W4MEC. Yep. I tell you, between Jim moving to Florida and Norm moving to a new house, I think I'm going to stay exactly where I am. If that's what happens to you. So anyway, I didn't know about Norm. That's sad. I hope he does. They do solve the issues there and get him back on the air. Anyway. 7-3 all. Y'all have a good Christmas, and we'll be sure to show up on Thursday and tell us what Santa brung you. 73 WA4EVK, W4MEC.
W4MEC and the group WA4EVK. Well, Merry Christmas to everybody, and our prayers will be with Norm. And that's about it on this end. 73s, and Charlie, I'll try to make it on 6 tonight. No, KG4IUQ to take it, WA4EVK.
Thank you very much. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and try to stay warm. I guess it goes back to Steve, N4LQ. This is KG4IUQ.
All right, well, that wraps it up for another exciting edition of the Old Friends Net. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a good holiday season, 73s. This is N4LQ closing the net.
Mark, I think you're the strongest I've heard you, and just beautiful audio, WA4LR.
Thank you very much. I'm not running an amp right now, but it does appear that I have a lot more modulation. Don't really know why. I did put in a 6146A to replace the 6146. I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas.
Absolutely beautiful signal. Are you on the LMAC?
Yes, I'm on the LMAC.
Okay. Well, it's doing a fine job this morning. 7-3, Merry Christmas. WA4LR.